Are you getting ready for the Praxis Special Education Core Knowledge and Mild to Moderate Applications exam? That's exam code 5543. My name is Hunter Tharp, and I'm a teacher and test prep expert for Study.com. In this video, we'll walk you through a few sample problems from this exam so that you're confident on test day and know what to expect on your exam. Ready? Let's jump in. For our first practice problem, we have a question that asks us, which of the following is the most effective strategy to use when teaching a student with a mild to moderate disability to write a paragraph? The biggest tip that I have for you whenever we have a practice problem or even a problem that you'll encounter on the Praxis exam is to ensure that we understand what the question is asking us to do, and the best way to do that is to identify keywords within the question. When I do this, one of the things that sticks out to me is that we're looking for a strategy to use when we're working with a student who has a mild to moderate disability, and we're working on writing, and more specifically writing a paragraph. So we know that when we are looking through our answer choices, we're trying to identify a good strategy to use when we're talking about writing a paragraph. When we look through our answer choices, the best one will be our second one, teaching a student the process of pre-writing, drafting, revising, and editing. When understanding why this would be the correct answer, it really boils down to the organization aspect that this answer choice provides. It gives students with disabilities a way to organize their thoughts, revise and make edits to their writing after they have did the initial draft of it, which produces a better piece of writing or a better paragraph. If we're providing a student with the topic sentence, we're not really allowing them to generate their own thoughts or ideas. If they're writing without any guidance, that really doesn't provide the support that our students need when they are writing a paragraph. And then giving the student a list of words to use in the paragraph likewise doesn't give them the amount of free idea generation that they could use in their writing. So that's why that one would not be correct. This one, though, the second one, obviously gives students the most support, but also their own avenue to generate their own thoughts and ideas. Our next practice problem says that Andrea is a second grade student with a learning disability, and her teacher notices she is struggling with the class's reading assignments. Andrea's IEP allows her to learn in the same classroom as her peers, though she also works with a special education teacher. To help Andrea, her reading teacher consults with the special education teacher to learn how to best teach Andrea reading skills. Changing the way reading skills are taught in special education without changing the curriculum would be considered blank. And so what we're essentially being asked to do with this question is to complete the sentence that ends the question here. I still want to go back, though, and identify the key words in the question just to understand what I'm being asked to do. We need to note that Andrea is in the same classroom as her peers. So she isn't in any type of restricted environment. She is in the general education classroom. However, there is a special education teacher that her reading general education teacher consults with, and they decide to change the way that the skills are taught, but they do not so without changing the curriculum. And that's a key part here of this question. And what is that describing in that scenario? Well, after reviewing the answer choices, the best one is, again, the second one, accommodation. And an accommodation in this scenario is simply saying that Andrea's curriculum is not changing. We're just changing the way that that curriculum is taught to her. But the actual curriculum itself is unchanging. While, the other answer choices like differentiated instruction, least restrictive environment, and modification, these may be all parts of a special education program that you've heard of, but in this specific scenario, the only one that matches altering the way that the curriculum is taught without changing the curriculum is accommodation. Our next practice problem says that a special education teacher has students who have hearing, sight, motor, and cognitive disorders in one classroom. The teacher is planning various activities about nouns, a topic students have just learned about. Which of the following approaches would best help the students? So again, I want to identify some keywords here. We have a student or multiple students in the classroom that have various disorders, and the teacher has taught them nouns, and it's something that they have just learned about. Which of the approaches would best help the student? So which one of these instructional approaches is essentially what we're being asked to do, would help students in that room, considering all of the various disorders they have, still learn the curriculum that they're expected to learn? When we're reviewing the answer choices, the best one is the second one, which is using universal design in her approach to ensure that the activity is accessible to all students. Now, why is this our best answer? Well, universal design means that the curriculum, when it was planned, was intentionally focused on accessibility. And that accessibility means that any student in that room has greater access to that curriculum. It might still be challenging, it should still be challenging, but their ability to access it is what universal design is all about. A multifaceted activity tailored to student strengths is important, but it doesn't quite reach, when we talk about universal design, the requirements of it. Culturally responsive teaching is definitely an important aspect of instructional approaches, but it doesn't quite match what we're discussing in the question, as does the final one, providing students with various activities so as to show varied skills in completing the work. That also doesn't quite match what we're talking about when we're talking with universal design and ensuring that all students in that classroom with various learning disorders can still access the curriculum. Our final practice problem says that an IEP student is utilizing transition services offered to them by their school. The student is hoping to receive a driver's license as they believe it will help them become a more active member of their community. To facilitate this, the school assists the student in studying, preparing for, and taking their driving certification exam. Which transition service is this student utilizing? So again, I want to identify some keywords here that are in the question. The IEP student is utilizing a transition service, and they want to receive a driver's license. That's a key part here. The school is assisting with the driving certification exam. So they're helping that student prepare for their driving exam, and that is part of the school's transition services. And what we're being asked to do is identify which of our answer choices matches what the school is doing for the student in this scenario. After reviewing the answer choices, our best one is going to be community experience. And so community experience, what that means is that the student is becoming more involved in their community, right? Having a driver's license will facilitate that. And so by doing that and ensuring the student has greater access to the community after they leave high school is absolutely a community experience transition service. Instruction, related services, and adult living objectives. These are all important aspects of a special education program and transition services, but the community experience answer best matches what the school is offering the student with the driving certification exam. I hope this was helpful. If you are looking for more ways to study, check out our other videos, and then also make your way over to study.com to check out our Praxis test prep courses. As a Study.com member, you'll get full access to hundreds of practice problems like the ones I just walked you through, plus targeted instruction for any topics that you are still struggling with, as well as test strategy to help you maximize your score on test day. Finally, we want to hear from you. Please like and subscribe if today's video was helpful, and then let us know down below in the comments if there are any specific topics that you want us to cover next. Good luck and happy studying.